We're back with another Flavor of Love video. This time we're on Season 1, Episode 2, so if you haven't seen Season 1, Episode 1, you can check that out here, I think. Last time we met up with Flav and the Flavorettes, we got a keen glance into the sheer chaos and debauchery of this incredible VH1 reality show. And just when I thought it couldn't get worse, oh, it got worse. We learned from the jump that this week Flav will have to eliminate 5 more women from his dating pool, which seems crazy. I know in the early days of The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, they'll send home multiple people, but 10 in 2 weeks? That seems like a lot. Still, there's an element of peace and tranquility in the first couple minutes of this episode that can only be disturbed by one person. You guessed it, Tiffany New York Pollard. We learn that Georgia and New York already have beef with each other.
Are you supposed to be wearing a dress right now? Because that ain't what you showed up in.
You don't have to use the F word with me.
None of which is helped by New York overhearing Georgia talking with Rain and Goldie about it in the morning. As the Flavorettes gather for breakfast, our iconic reality villainess is missing from the table. Busy concocting one of her evil plans, I'm sure. Big Rick, who is already my favorite character of the bunch, arrives to drop off a fancy tray with a flavogram hidden beneath. The contestants learn that they'll be performing their first challenge, in which they have to make some sort of hot tub presentation for Flav. I don't know what to say about it. For those who saw my Scream Queens video, you'll remember how I brought up that every 2000s competition reality show seemed to have a hot tub scene. Well, this time, they literally go to what I can only describe as a hot tub farm. There's probably a better word for it, but I'm getting ahead of myself. New York arrives fashionably late for breakfast and decides she's going to enact some mental warfare on Rain.
Good morning. Good morning. Not you. You can choke.
She instigates some drama for the sole purpose of seeing just how angry Rain will get, and spoiler alert, Rain can get pretty angry. We're then treated to some male gaze as the women prepare themselves for this strange hot tub date. And then all hell breaks loose. While in the van, New York has a very "I didn't come here to make friends" attitude.
How will you respond if Flav has nothing on?
I don't feel like talking.
But you know, you have the opportunity to meet so many great people along the way.
I do, but I don't want to take the opportunity.
And Rain has had enough with her.
Nobody likes you.
I don't care.
You bring your energy up in there.
Calm down.
Get out. I'm sick. Bitch, I have a drink in my hand. I will throw this drink in your face.
It gets to the point where Peaches, I think, has to physically hold Rain back, and everyone else is just trying to calm her down. Could you imagine being the van driver during all this? I mean, I've been on a school bus taking kids to summer camp, and I've heard those kids get yelled at for much less. I do have a great mental image, however, of the producers watching all this from another van, like rubbing their hands together, just knowing that this is going to make for some incredible TV. As the girls get their hot tubs ready, Flav and Big Rick arrive at the hot tub farm. I'm sorry, I really don't know what to call this place. Anyway, I love the dynamic between these two. Like, I would watch a Robin Big style show about Flav and Big Rick in a heartbeat. Big Rick informs a crestfallen Flav that he only has 10 minutes to enjoy with the Flavorettes in the hot tub, so the hype man is off to the races. Some of the presentations are soft and romantic, while some are kinda...
Okay, sir. Everything you say goes.
Whoa.
Feng Shui is a way to live harmoniously with the natural environment.
I'd like you to look deeply into the light.
Some even take this as an opportunity to deepen their connection with Flav.
Every single man that I've dated either used me or lied to me or cheated on me or done something.
Removing my makeup, tell you that this is really who I am. All I really want is to just have someone to hug.
Then there's his experience with Dimples.
All right, you got me on skills. Oh, yeah, well, I got a feeling it's you holding me up.
Once again, I am reminded of the old guy from the Aristocats. My favorite part of this whole setup, though, is Big Rick cartoonishly blowing the whistle to signify that time is up. He's the best, he truly is. At the end of the challenge, Flav picks 3 winners: Smiley, New York, and Miss Latin. That night, well, actually very early the next morning, Flav is woken up by a huge screaming argument downstairs in the mansion. See, Pumpkin has confronted New York about her unfriendly attitude, and at first I'm kind of on her side. Like, I know that New York is a reality show powerhouse, and I can appreciate her for that, but I don't like her, and I probably would hate to be on this show with her, not that I ever would be. But Pumpkin loses me when she starts getting real transphobic to New York.
And the reason you want to get it?
That's not fine. You. Okay.
It is absolutely appalling, the stuff we got away with on TV 20 years ago. Oh my god. What's funny to me, though, is that Rain, of all people, is the one to step in and try to stop the fight. Eventually, Flav rises from his bed to come downstairs and see what's going on. A tearful Pumpkin tells him her side of the story, much to New York's annoyance. She's going. And here's where I want to highlight some of my favorite parts of the episode. See, Flav is a master of the English language. He uses words like
Macadacious.
and
Splendiferous.
but here is where his skills really shine.
Kick the lyrics to Flav.
I'm gonna use that the next time I have to consult someone.
If it don't apply, let it fly.
My new motto. By the next morning, all is well, except for Miss Latin. Oh my god, we haven't even talked about Miss Latin yet. So, a recurring bit throughout this episode is that Miss Latin has just gotten out of a relationship with a man named Cash, and she keeps calling him from the house. This gets back to the girls, and it's a whole thing.
What's wrong?
Sometimes I think I made such a stupid decision. Imagine spending every single day with someone for 4 years, every single day, you know?
How long has it been since you guys broke up?
A week. What?
What? Why is she here then? Okay, honestly, I don't think a single one of these women are actually here to find love, let alone with Flavor Flav. If I had to guess, I bet they all sent in auditions to be on any other reality show, and this is the one they were picked for. But still, a week ago? If I know my reality show tropes, and I'm pretty sure I know my reality show tropes, there's no way Miss Latin isn't going home this episode. Big Rick arrives with a gift for the 3 winners, which turns out to be some 70s themed athleisure. Flav comes downstairs in a Sully from Monsters, Inc. cosplay, and he takes Smiley, New York, and Miss Latin to the roller rink. Oh my god, I can't with Big Rick in his sweatband. I'm obsessed with this man. While on the floor, New York is doing everything she can to get Flav's attention. After seeing how Flav graciously attended Miss Latin after she fell, New York suddenly keeps falling too. It's so obvious what she's doing. Even Flav knows, but he's eating it right up. After spending some time on their skates, Flav and the women talk over a snack bar. He asks about their romantic pasts, and Smiley reveals she's been married before. After spilling some tears, she worries she'll be sent home, which makes me sad for her. Let people cry. Luckily, the only person who has a problem with her tears seems to be New York.
Smiley, she cries. Not because she's sad. If I cry, maybe, Flav will, have sympathy for me.
Because that's what New York would do, right? Now, you'd think this would be a perfect time for Miss Latin to admit that she's freshly split from this Cash guy she keeps calling, but she's very wishy-washy on the subject of her exes.
The one that I'm most attracted to out of those three right now is Miss Latin.
Yeah, this is gonna end really well. When they get home, a jealous New York starts telling the others about the whole Miss Latin situation, which, of course, blows up around the house again.
Miss Latin says, I miss my ex-boyfriend. She's been, contemplating if I go back to my ex.
To make sure I get her out of the house.
Hottie ends up pulling Miss Latin aside to confront her about this, and the argument spills out into dinner.
She pulled me aside right now and said, I want to know if you're still talking to your ex-boyfriend.
Why does that? Then I'll go ahead and break
You know
it
why?
down.
She said, because I care about Flav and I don't want to see him hurt.
I don't know what you're talking about. You called me aside. You called a whole bunch of girls aside. So quit trying to pretend that you're not the instigator because you are.
Aside.
You did.
When she was talking about this guy,
This might be a hot take, but I think Red Oyster should be as memeable as New York is, and it's a shame she's not. Eventually, things do calm down, but Red Oyster, and yeah, I guess she's Red Oyster, not just Oyster now. It's only a slightly better nickname if you ask me. I still think they should have gone with Aphrodisiac, but whatever. Anyway, she tells Flav about the Miss Latin debacle before the elimination ceremony, and it sends Flav into a bit of a tailspin. As he makes his big decision, he really contemplates the important things here.
This one right here, she got the nice little buns in the back.
And he makes a lot of comments that suggest maybe he didn't like that Red Oyster ratted Miss Latin out to him.
Somebody is trying to set somebody up to get out. And that's the dirty rat. Ooh.
Again, 5 women will be sent home this week, so everyone is feeling really nervous. Especially Rain, who feels like Flav still hasn't gotten to know her all that well yet. Pumpkin strikes out with me yet again when she makes some mean comments about Hottie's outfit.
I think Hottie's outfit is absolutely disgusting. I'm not a big girl, and I don't show my stomach like that.
And even Smiley, who might be my favorite now that Picasso is gone, disappoints me by doing the same thing.
and Hottie scared me with her outfit. Oh my god, that girl, I swear.
Flav starts handing out the clocks, eventually giving out the last one to Red Oyster for the old bait and switch. In the end, we say goodbye to Apples, Georgia, Rain, Dimples, and, surprising no one, Miss Latin. Flav actually calls her out for not being upfront about the situation and seems pretty hurt by it.
Damn. Why? Why couldn't you just tell me? Can't have people like that around me that's gonna hide stuff from me.
I hope she ended up finding the piece she needed off the show, but yeah, probably not the best idea to go on a dating competition reality show a week after you broke up with your boyfriend. Pro tip. So anyway, that was season 1, episode 2 of Flavor of Love. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, I'd love it if you drop me a like and a comment, and maybe even consider subscribing if you haven't already. I have more videos just like this, so feel free to check them out. And join me next time when I watch something else.